Alrighty, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wixo Fallout, and I am revealing my face in this episode. Now, I wanted to wait till 200 subs to do this, but I thought, why not just do it early? And not many Wixo forum content creators put their face in videos, so I just wanted to do it to sort of make y'all happy, sort of have something different compared to others. But other than that, let's get right into it. As a quick intermission, we also see the Hudson Lake be formed and some messing around with the Caribbean and Central America, and also Zealandia comes into formation right over here. Now, with the formation of Zealandia, we are actually going to see a new country popping up on Zealandia. Now, this continent was actually recommended on one of my um videos on a comment. So I would prefer if y'all started leaving comments to recommend continents to bring in or just land changes in general. But we're going to see this red country form over here in Zealandia right on the coast. Now they are going to do a little bit of exploration right off the bat as they're formed, but they're super new, so we honestly won't see anything from Zealandia in today's episode, but that is the first country to actually form that's not from the original civilization, counting these mutant countries, because if you do remember, these mutant countries are the same as these people, just mutated because of the nuclear blast. Another thing we see here is a new red country. Actually, never mind. We can't do a new red country. We can do a cyan mutant country, though. Yeah, we can do a cyan mutant country. So this mutant country is actually going to be forming in Italy around Rome, where a Norwegian actually started his civilization. And they're going to be focused over here in this little area. And let's go ahead and make some areas that they support explore. Now these mutants are going to be a little bit different since they are situated on the Italian peninsula, but they aren't going to be much different from the other mutants. Same story and everything, just in a different way. And they're honestly just going to be a little bit stronger than all the other mutants, taller, and they don't reproduce as fast though, because as we know throughout science, that the bigger you are, the less likely you are to produce with females of the same sort of like species as much, or animal, whatever. That's why ants reproduce so much. But we also see some troubles in the Nigerian country. So they are actually going to have a successful little movement in their country that provides more capitalist ideology, since we are moving a little bit out of the nuclear era of Africa. So like Africa is slowly becoming less effective, but they are going to go more into southern Africa, just trying to get away from the nuclear blast. And they do a lot of exploration since they are more advanced because they were a part of a past civilization. So actually we see an Angolan country pop up, and it's going to be the Angolan pink country that is just looking for a more safer lifestyle where they don't have to rely as much on just socialism and just trying to provide for everyone equally. They're going to be democratic socialists, but with lots of different capitalistic ideologies mixed in to the socialism that the Nigerian country had before them. So they are actually going to be situated near Angola. Maybe not directly on Angola, but I mean, I do like to glaze that country. But let's go ahead and make the capitals for these new countries. Here we have Angola's capital, the New Zealand Red Country's capital, and Rome's capital. So here we actually see a pretty big event happening. These two civilizations are going to meet up with each other, and they're going to be like, whoa, who are you? And they're going to be like, oh, you're from the original world before the world actually blew up. And the socialists meeting each other are actually going to be really shocked and surprised. And they just discover all through here, checking up on new territory, mapping it out a little bit, because most of the maps were actually burnt in the nuclear blast. But they do get lots more water that isn't as nuclear radioactive, so they can drink a little bit more. And water is really going to be very scarce, like healthy water. Everybody's just out for it. And then, what should we do next? We're actually going to see a Cuban team. Yeah, we're going to see a Cuban orange team popping up in Cuba, which Cuba's right next to, like, Louisiana, sort of. But, other than that, Cuba just looks super funny. Um, that's a little bit of a weird Cuba for y'all. But I did get this idea from a Norwegian having his, like, sort of civilization popping up in Mexico. It's just in Cuba this time. But these are sort of going to be like the early Aztecs and everything. Just super early civilization happening. Not really advanced at all, but they are a mutant civilization. So I gotta color their capital a different color. And I didn't do it with the new Roman civilization on accident. So let's go ahead and change that real quick. So I have the capitals on a different layer. So I just gotta click on to the layer, hit reselect, and boom, the capital is like that. Gotta change the major city, and boom, that's how I do my capitals. But here we gotta do the same thing for here. So I type in size 5. This is gonna be a little. I might do a tutorial video. Here, let's do 2,000 subs tutorial video, just like how a Norwegian has it scheduled. Oh god, that would be horrible. I might not do a tutorial video ever, just because there's already a lot out there. If you do want to check that out, um, my friend Cheese Mapping, he has a good tutorial video on how to make thumbnails using Paint.net. If y'all do want to check him out, Cheese Mapping, I'll probably put him in the description of the video or something. But other than that, let's just keep on doing more stuff. So here we actually see these two socialist countries not really getting along with each other. So they're going to be like, hey, we're both socialist. What's wrong with you? What's different from me? What's different, you know? And the Nigerians are going to be like, well, we actually used to be capitalists when we formed. And the Ethiopian socialists are going to be like, we were socialists this whole time. You're not a true socialist government. And then we see nationalism rising up. And before we see that, we're actually going to see some expansion real quick from the Ethiopian team and Nigerian team. So here we see the Nigerian team expanding a whole lot, trying to get down to this Angolan team to sort of get diplomatic relations set up a little bit. I'm probably going to change the Angolan team color real quick. So let's go ahead and do that, because I don't like how it's too similar to the Nigerians, so it's just going to be brown. And then let's go over to Ethiopia and see their expansion real quick. And we see a little bit of expansion, but we also see on the religion map. Wait, hold up. I gotta update this in a minute. Hold up. Can I just update it like this and use the magic wand tool? Give me a minute. I'm gonna update this and I'll be right back. So we see their expansion here, and we're actually going to see a little bit of a genocide, since these guys are trying to kick all the Orange Team people out of their borders or just kill them in general. So this is going to be the very first genocide of the Fallout series, which I am very excited to do. But here, let's see the expansion of this religion, and I'll also do some South American expansion too. So let's go ahead and see that, and we're just going to expand all countries, to be honest, and I'm going to end it there. So here in this Uruguay country, we actually see lots of exploration. So let's go ahead and see that. So here we go, and they're going to expand like this, following around the coast. They really got hard terrain to sort of follow, but they're just going to explore really a lot. Now, they do explore a lot, but they've really just been building up population. They can't really gain much population from how hard it is living in here. But let's go ahead and see their expansion. And they're going to try to get more sea territory because they are a civilization who's never had contact with the sort of old world-ish. I'm gonna call it the old world, but old civilization, branches of old civilization. So let's go ahead and see some expansion here. So here we see lots of expansion around the coast and all, but their main goal is just to get sea territory. And I don't know the geography of South America that well. I know it's really hard to maneuver around, but these people are growing up in South America, so I reckon it's easier for them. But that's it. It probably is going to be easier for all of them, sort of growing up around here, especially for the mutant countries. For the mutant countries, it's going to be a little easier for them for a while until it's not. And we're going to see that day eventually where it's not easy for them. But right now, they're absolutely winning in this little war that they don't know they're going to be in with the people. But other than that, let's go ahead and see some expansion exploration in this country. And why is it doing that? I'm not even selected anything. So if I do this, there we go. That's my bad, gang. And guys, whatever. What do y'all want to be called? Like, some people have names for their viewers. I might want to do that. But here we see the very first interactions to non-nuclear territory with the Persians. And they're actually going to explore so much that they interact with the Ethiopians and whatever you want to call these guys, the Somalians, the Ethiopian socialists. They actually interact with them a bit, but here we're going to see some expansion, and they're actually going to kill a few Ethiopians. So let's see some expansion first. So here we see lots of expansion, and this country really wants to hate the humans, and there's going to be a little breakaway group that honestly just supports the humans. They don't want war with the people. They don't want war with anyone. So they're just going to break away. They're going to be the quarter country. We also do have a quarter country in GeoEdits. Check out GeoEdits. It's an amazing channel that I'm a part of. But this is going to be the quarter mutated and non-mutated country. So now I got to make a new capital design for it. So let's go ahead and see that. So here we see this little split design representing a mutant country living with people, and these people are actually going to rely on the mutants, and the mutants are going to rely on the people to sort of advance their technology, since the mutants are stupider than the humans. So they are going to use that to their advantage, but they're also going to hate these guys, and these guys aren't really going to get an opportunity to invade them before we see another rebellion of this UAE country who is filled with mutants but also doesn't want war with people. So let's go ahead and make another capital. This country just wants to be neutral, doesn't really want to side with the humans, doesn't really want to side with the mutants. But this is going to be the conflict that we see in the little Gulf area, the Persian Gulf. But other than that, we just see a few new countries, lots of new landmarks coming in. And I do want to let y'all know, if y'all want anything new added to this series, just either DM me on Discord or leave a comment on this video. If you DM me on Discord, I'm more likely to see it, but with this being new and I'm not getting many comments, I will probably see your comments more, but as I slowly grow, I won't see them as often. Just want to let y'all know that, but I'm ready for literally anything y'all have to throw at me. Whatever you want on this map, I will change it, and I will try to make this map as the best map for y'all and the best map for me. I'm gonna love this series, but this is going to be released Sunday. It's Friday. I've been having a great Friday. I hope y'all have a nice Sunday when this releases. I love y'all. This is the first episode with my face. Let me know if you want me to take it out, leave it in, whatever. Whatever y'all want. Here I am with my face out for the very first time, and we ain't even at 200 subs. So let's go, guys. I love y'all. Bye.